Good evening, tiny soul. Tonight's tale drips with moonlight and blood. Hospitals are supposed to heal, but under a full moon. Even the living forget who they are. Let's tuck you in and hope your eyes stay yours until morning. Now hush and listen closely. Twist the like button if you want more. Subscribe to be mine forever.
It was a full moon that night. The hospital was completely packed. Not a single empty room. Most of the patients were unusually restless, almost hyper, like something had stirred them all at once. You could feel it in the halls, like the building itself was holding its breath. One patient stood out from the rest. He'd come in after suffering a stroke and had another shortly after arriving. He drifted in and out of consciousness, and we all took turns keeping an eye on him. But something about him felt different. Wrong. His room always seemed colder than the others. I had just finished my rounds when I decided to check on him one last time before heading to break. As I reached for the door handle, the hallway lights began to buzz, soft at first, then louder. One flickered, then another. A cold breath of air slid down the back of my neck, like something was following me. I pushed the door open and peeked inside. He was gone. I froze. Then I saw it. Blood everywhere. It wasn't just dripping. It was smeared in long, jagged streaks, like something had been crawling or dragged. I followed the trail around the corner, and that's when I saw him. Standing still, motionless. His eyes were glazed so deeply, they looked white. Not empty, just occupied. Like something else was watching me through them. His arms hung limp at his sides, blood streaked where the IVs had been. His gown hung open, soaked in red, and then he moved. It wasn't natural. It was jerky, fast, like he'd been yanked forward by something invisible. He charged me. Instinct kicked in. Years of mixed martial arts training saved me. I caught his arm, twisted it, redirected him toward the bathroom. He didn't speak, didn't groan, just breathed heavy through clenched teeth. I slammed the door shut and called security. Moments later, they arrived right as the night shift nurse walked down the hallway. She saw the chaos and said, "You can leave. I'll take it from here." Security looked at me. "Did you call us for the patient or for her?" I told them, "Don't go far. She has no idea what she's walking into." I tried to warn her, told her what happened, told her not to go in alone. She just smiled. Too wide, way too wide. "Get out, everything is fine," she said, sweet as honey. But her voice shook at the end. Something about her felt off. Her eyes didn't match her mouth. Still, I nodded. "Okay." I stepped back and waited just outside the door. The hallway fell quiet again. That same heavy silence. I leaned closer. "You okay in there?" I asked. She screamed, "Everything is fine. Leave." But her voice, it didn't sound like hers anymore. It sounded cracked, like someone else was speaking through her. I didn't move, stayed close, ear pressed to the door. Then came a thud, and another. Then her scream. I threw the door open just in time to see him gripping her by the throat, lifting her off the floor like she weighed nothing. Her feet dangled, her face turning purple. She couldn't speak, but her eyes, wide, pleading, said everything. "Do you want our help now?" I shouted. Security rushed in behind me and tore him away. It took 3 of them to pry his hand from her neck. His body fought like a puppet, caught in a seizure, arms flailing, strength unnatural. They finally restrained him, and just like that, it was over. But we all knew something wasn't right. That night, we learned a lesson we won't forget. When someone's eyes glaze over like that, they're not there anymore. And whatever is, doesn't care who it hurts. Be aware, be safe, be ready, because next time, you might have to fight for your life.
Lullabies never end. They just wait.